Hey, good evening, Baswaraj. So, good evening to you all. Okay, just give me a second. Let me just go here and see what I did here. Today, we'll start look at how to connect to various sources, data sources. And again, so connecting to Hadoop, it requires the server name and the port number. Okay, and we don't have at this moment. But anyhow, I installed the Hadoop cluster, right? The standalone cluster in my system, but due to space issue, I cannot start it, and again it will hang. Okay. Anyhow, we will show that a later point in time, and the rest of them we will see today. Okay, how to connect to various source system, and we'll get started with the visuals, everything. Okay. So I hope all of you have installed Power BI, and one second, Power BI desktop. Recap on this tool. Okay, so this is your Power BI desktop. This encompasses all these three Power Pivot and Power View. So this is called your Power View. This is where we do the report generate. We create the reports and dashboards here. So on the right side you will find the visualization pane, and also on the extreme right side you will find the fields pane. Currently there are no fields are there. What do you mean by fields? The columns that are there in your data set. For example, you have an Excel sheet. In the Excel sheet you have multiple cells, right? Each cell you have given some name of customer ID, order date, something like that, right? So those are called fields. The cells that are there in your Excel sheet are called as fields in the relational database management system. Okay. And the visualizations using which, right, we have a lot of visualizations are available in Power BI. Okay, with that you can plot the data in the chart. Okay, so on the left side we see three icons here. One is the Power View. So this is where for example, if I want to view something like this, okay, and if I want to view something, I just if you select this one, the chart will come here. But for this you need to have the data. We don't have the data. For the time being I'm going to use so this is what the get data source. Okay, so how to connect to various data sources. For example, if I select this, you have Excel workbook and Power BI data sets. Let's say you have already developed some Power BI file, right? So the Power BI already imported the data, everything, right? You did some kind of data modeling, everything. Okay, if any new buddy joins your company, they don't have to run pillar to post to understand which all source system they are supposed to connect to, or which all files they are supposed to use it. Okay, if it is everything is readily available, they can import it, and then they can use the appropriate visuals in terms of generating any new report or so. And then we have Power BI data flows. We will discuss this later. Okay, and we have something called Dataverse. Okay, what is Dataverse? Anybody has any idea? Did you guys use this? So it's a common data service, right? It is a cloud-based storage space. Okay, organization they use to securely store the business application data. For that purpose, they use Dataverse. Okay, and also we have SQL Server and Analysis Server (SSAS). In the case of SSAS, we create cubes. What do you mean by cubes? Cubes are nothing but multi-dimensional database. MDDB, they call it as MDDB, multi-dimensional database, cubes. So why do you need to create cubes? With the help of cubes, you can do slicing, dicing. Okay, if you want to look at the data in any dimension, you can do it with the help of the cubes. There is something called MSBI. I don't know how many of you are aware of MSBI, Microsoft Business Intelligence. As part of that, the SSIS, SQL Server Integrated Service, using which you can do data transformation. Any complex data transformation, you can do it with SSIS. Okay, It is somewhat like Informatica. I don't know how many of you are aware of Informatica tool. Informatica is also one of the popular ETL tool. Informatica is right. So it's a ETL tool. Similarly, as part of MSBI, Microsoft Business Intelligence, it is a suite of SSIS, SQL Server Integrated Service, and then you have some SSRS, SQL Server Reporting Service, SSAS, SQL Server Analytics Services. In the SSAS, we can create cubes. Okay, that is what it is, analysis services. Okay, and then apart from this, we may tend to get file data in the form of .csv file. Sometimes the customers will tell, hey, this is my production database. Okay, so here we will not give you access. Rather, what we will do is we will spool the data in a file. They use the term spool the data in a .csv file. Yes, Karthik, tell me, Karthik. Yeah, you have any questions? How to download Power BI? Why are you asking now? You've not yet done? Karthik, installation we'll discuss it offline. Okay, right? So we'll discuss offline because it will cause everyone, almost all of them have installed it. Okay, and that's the reason why I share the video. Okay, we'll discuss it later. Okay, right? We'll discuss it later. Don't worry. Okay, .csv. They give it in the flat file. It is also called as a flat file. You guys need to be familiar with all these terms. CSV, or they call it as a flat file. The flat file can be it will have a .csv file extension, or .txt file. Okay, so flat file, and then they give the file in the form of flat file. It could be a .csv for .txt file. The reason why they don't give access, already it is accessed by, right? These production database accessed by millions of users. Okay, millions and millions of it. They don't want this database to be disturbed by accessing various users. Already millions of users are accessing it. On top, if you try to run your job against this production database, and if that messes up, right? For example, if your query takes millions of records, and if that does any data transformation while extracting the data itself, right, that will cause major bottleneck on this performance bottleneck on this production database. That's the reason why they don't give access directly. They will give the file upfront. Okay, and also we can request them to give the format of the data in a specific way. For example, as I discussed in the last session, the date format, the US date format is month, date, year. Okay, month, date, year, and we can ask them to give it in this format. Okay, or if you want, you can ask them to give it whichever format you need it. If there are any date columns are there in this data set, ask them to give it. But usually we use month, date, year only, because most of the time we work with US customers only. Fine. So flat file. So the files are given by the CSV files, right? So you can use CSV file you can import the data. First of all, to create a report or dashboard or scorecard, whatever it will be, you need to load the data into your Power BI memory. Okay, and then we have something called OData feed. OData feed is for the REST API. Okay, to connect to the OData, right? So these REST APIs, already the data is available, right? The combination of the data is already available somewhere. They expose the data on cloud. Okay, using the REST API, we can go and pick up the data. Okay, and we have something called, what is that? Okay, let me just. So okay, we can get it this way. And apart from the Power BI template, okay, if somebody asks you, right, what is the extension of the Power BI file? Can you tell me? Usually the freshers, they will expect this PBIX file, and you have something a PBIT file, right? PBIT is nothing, Power BI template file. Okay, we can create a template and we can reuse that template. As the name suggests, right, you can use a template later point in time once you create it, or once you save it as a PBIT file, that can be used as a template that can be reused. And PBX is the one we use to generate it. Okay, for example, you develop a report or dashboard in Power BI desktop, you publish the PBIX file on your Power BI service. What is Power BI service? So app.powerbi.com. I guess all of you have access to this one, right? I guess all of you must have created login credentials here. If not, Karthik and others, right? Please go to this website and create a user ID for you there. Okay. Look here. So I have already created a login credentials. I registered here in this website. If I develop any report or dashboard in my desktop, you have an option called publish. When you click publish, the report or dashboard will get published on cloud, right? It will be published on cloud. Okay. Right. So once it get published on cloud, right? The next one is you can give you can enable sharing all the things, so that the respective stakeholders can view your report across the globe. Okay. With the appropriate privileges. Yes, you can give row level security, object level security. Okay, based on, right? So based on the security privileges which you give, the respective stakeholder can view the data relevant to them. Okay, not all the data are visible to everyone. Okay. So once you create user ID and password here, right, with that, if you log in here, you can see it is a pro license type. Okay, see, it's a trial period. Okay, so I can use this Power BI Pro BI service, right, for the next 33 days. Okay, I think they are giving it for 60 days or so. Okay, I am literally confused. Several places I'm using trial, AWS and this one and all. Okay, Azure also. Azure mine got expired. Okay. So Azure also, you can to create a user ID, it will ask you for the credit card. You can give the credit card. They'll charge you just $1 or $2. That's all. Okay. Well, I guess $1 in portal.azure.com. Portal.azure.com. If you go here, if you wanted to use SharePoint or anything, right, it will ask you. See, skip for 14 days until this is required. So this is Azure Cloud. So this is Microsoft's cloud. So we call the Microsoft cloud as Azure. First, understand all these terms. Okay, in the interview they will ask you what version of Power BI that you are using it. Guys, don't worry. If you say that you are going to put 2 to 3 year experience, we will have to look at all the versions, right? So the version also you should be knowing it. All the versions as part of the screening process they will be asking you. Okay. Which version? 2.97 version we are using it. Okay, 2.97.x or 2.9x we are using it. Okay, Power BI. And next one is SQL Server. Which version? All the versions you remember it. Okay. So here you can once you develop the report here, right, you can publish it on PBX file, right? You can publish it on cloud. So you have an option to publish it here. So look here, when you go to the home ribbon, right, you will find something as share, publish. When you publish it, it will be on the shared mode. You are sharing it on cloud. So this is what the cloud. Please side by side, go to this site and register yourself. Mohan, very good. Mohan already created. So Mohan is very proactive. Very good. Fine. Yeah. Fine. So next one is the database. I was talking about database. Let us go here. How to connect to database. Chaitra, you also created. Very good. So in the case of database, right, so you have something called import and direct query. Okay, before I go to database, I will just show you with SQL Server how to connect to SQL Server. So SQL Server, how do I don't know how many of you have installed SQL Server. If you have not installed, don't worry. Okay, see the same SQL Server that is available on Azure Cloud. Okay, but in that case of Azure Cloud, you need to specify the Azure SQL Server's URL, okay, the server name colon the port number, that's it, okay, not much big deal. Even now they made this one as a paid one, SQL Server database, and those of you are yet to register with the portal.azure.com, right? So portal.azure.com, you go ahead and register it, but it will ask you the credit card, but it will not, they will not charge you. I think for 3 months or 6 months it is a free, okay, but just because they say free, don't upload all the files on cloud, big files, you are gone, okay. And also if you start any service, make sure that once you come out of from the cloud, you are going to shut down the service, okay, or delete the service better, otherwise they will charge you like anything, okay. So you might be wondering, when you receive your credit card, right, they would have deducted you like anything, okay. It's all in hourly basis, they are hourly basis they are charging it, okay. SQL Server database, I'll just go here and SQL Server, I'm going to type SQL Server. Oh, okay. Oh, this is okay. SQL Server Management Studio. It will take some time. Microsoft SQL Server. Ideally, if you start practicing the queries on Microsoft SQL Server also, it is good because most of the customers now, to my knowledge, right, I heard that they are migrating from Tableau to Power BI. And right, what they come up with some strategy like Microsoft. Those of you go for our cloud, Azure cloud, and we give more discount, something like that, okay. In that case, right, what will happen is most of them will start use Microsoft related products like Microsoft SQL Server, Microsoft Power BI, Microsoft Cloud, Azure, which is nothing but the Azure, and also Microsoft, you have something called Power Apps, Dynamics, likewise many things are there, okay. Look here, this is my SQL. Once you install the SQL Server, it's very simple, just click, it will get installed, okay. So when you open it, automatically it will show the server name. You don't have to give anything. By default, it will assign some server name, okay. Just cancel it, and then what you do is you just minimize it. You just go ahead and specify the server name, that's all. If you know the database name, you can specify it. Otherwise, you don't have to specify. Since I have access to the database here, because I did not connect it, right, I just cancelled it. I just connect it here. So if you expand this, you can see the databases here. So for example, I have some AdventureWorks 2017. This is one of the popular database. Thank God, Microsoft, they have given the set of tables, demo tables. They've given a lot of tables, okay, as part of this, okay. A lot of tables are available, and also data sets also available. But guys, don't worry, even I have a lot of data sets, real-time data sets, don't worry, we'll work on that one. Look here, these are the tables are available when you create, as I told you, right, how many of you created the dn.sql, execute the dn.sql, which is nothing but it's kind of AdventureWorks only, okay. It will automatically create the demo tables, and it will insert all the data in those tables, okay. So here AdventureWorks 2017, I know that. So what I do is AdventureWorks, make sure that you are following the proper case. When it comes to RDBMS, you don't have to worry about the case sensitive and all. So here you have two options here. First of all, let us do one thing. Okay, so since we are connecting the database, it should be this one direct query, okay. So here I am going to just do a connection here. I just clicked OK. It is loading. Look here, it got connected to the SQL Server database, which is nothing but AdventureWorks 7 successfully, right? So how many of you noticed this one? Look here, when I connected to this one, SQL Server, we have option like import and direct query. Import and direct query. Desktop. I should have stored it in my file here. Yeah, so I made a mistake. Usually I do it. Desktop. $8K BBDN3. Look here, we have for example adventure works. What is the database name? 2017. I have two options here. Okay, is not case sensitive. Yeah, yes, Jamal. Use my current credentials. Okay, I can import it or use your Windows credential to access this data. Use my current credentials and select with which level to apply these settings, desktop, something like that. Okay, this is just a credentials, right? Which credentials that you can use it to connect to this one. You wanted to import the data here. So we have like a direct as well as import option is available. Okay, and one second, we have database here, username, password you can get. So instead of remembering the password, reset password, right, better you can connect it with this default things. Okay, use my current credentials likewise. Oh, 8 BBDN3, I typed BBN3. Okay, yeah, you are correct, sorry. Okay, I made a mistake. $8K BBDN3, right? Desktop 8K BBDN3. Am I correct? I think now I'm correct, right? So, okay. So you don't have to specify the database name also. You can simply do import. Look here, it imports all the tables here. So what is the difference between direct and import? What is the difference between direct? So we have two options. One is direct and import, right? So now I can go ahead and select whichever table that I needed. I can select it. But the question here is, they will ask you in the interview, okay, so when will you use direct query? When will you use import? See here, we have two options, import, direct query, right? So direct query, what is the difference between import and direct query? So when you import the data, from any source, that will get loaded into your Power BI memory. In this application memory, it will get loaded. Okay, but when you use direct query, what will happen is, let's say you created a bar chart. For this bar chart, the data comes from the database table. Right? Let's say you are using a specific tables, columns. The data comes from the table only, right? So if you wanted to, use some slicer and refresh this chart, what will happen is, it will send the query directly to the server, database server. It will send the query directly to the database server. Okay, so that is the beauty of this one. So especially when you work with huge amount of data, okay, so this is direct query only you can use it, because from the performance point, right, standpoint, the imported data is best, right, and it is fastest because it can leverage the power of the Power BI engine. So they call it as a Verto PSC, right? Whereas in the case of direct query, it is relying on the source, right, which is typically slower. But there are some limitation with the Power BI, right? So if you wanted to read a single file, right, say single compressed data set in Power BI, right, it cannot exceed more than 1 gigabyte. If you would like to import a single data set bigger than or more than a gigabyte, then you have only one option you are left with, which is nothing but the direct query. If you are single, let's say a table has more than 1 gigabyte volume of data is there, okay, then it has a limitation, it will throw an error if you use import. Okay, then you are left with only one option called direct query. Now let us see how to connect to 1 second, right? I made the mistake. Desktop -8 KBBDN3. Okay, if I use direct query, it will not load the database table, MySQL server table, into my Power BI memory. But if you load anything in memory, it will be much faster. Let's say I'm going to select sales customer. So the data, so when I select this one, it goes to the database. The query has been sent to the database, and it is, showing the data here. Okay. Whereas when you import an Excel file, the Excel data will get loaded in your Power BI application memory. If anything gets loaded in memory, the performance will be obviously faster. But when it comes to huge volume of data, then we don't have option. We have to use direct query. Okay, direct query option to connect to the database directly, and then we need to pull the data. Okay. Anyhow, I just load this one for the time being. Look here, on the extreme right side in the fields pane, we don't have any columns. The database, we have columns, right? Those columns will get loaded here. See, now it connects to the database, and then it displays the columns that are there in this table, but it will not get loaded in the Power BI memory. Okay. And what are the other advantage of direct query and import? See, the one advantage with import query is right. So the one advantage with the import query is it is in memory. It is bit faster. But when you make any changes to your Excel file in the Windows system, right? Let's say you are importing Excel file. Look here. So you go here and you import an Excel file, okay, which is there in your Windows system. Whatever data are there in this Excel file will get loaded over here in the memory. Okay, but when you go to the Excel sheet, after you load the data in the memory from the Excel sheet into the Power BI memory, when you later point in time, when you go to the Excel and if you make changes, whatever the changes you made it in the Excel sheet will not get reflected in the memory. Okay, if you make any real-time changes, for example, in the database, I am changing I'm showing, let's say, a customer debited some money. Automatically, it has to debit whatever the money he has withdrawn from the ATM. That money has to be debited from his savings. Right. So, what is the current balance? It's all real time, right? For example, you go to an ATM and you withdraw the money. As soon as you withdraw the money, immediately the money will get deducted from your balance. Instantly it happens. It's all real time. Right? Supposing you are visualizing the data, right, and you want to see what is the cash in hand right now, real time, right? In real time, you want to understand what is happening currently, right? So in that case, direct query is very much helpful. Direct query is very much helpful because as and when you make changes, the changes will get propagated instantly to your Power BI desktop. That is the advantage of direct query. Another advantage is due to the limitation with the Power BI in terms of importing the data. But in the case of premium license, right, Power BI desktop, we don't have any limitation like this. Okay, I think in Pro also, Power BI Pro also, there are some limitation is there. When you go for Power BI Enterprise, enterprise related licensing like premium, right? So I don't think so there is a limitation. When it comes to desktop, right, there is a 1 GB only you can use it. Beyond that, a single file data cannot be more than a gigabyte. So in that case, you have to use direct query only. Another advantage of direct query is it, right? In case of any changes you make it to the source system, it will get reflected immediately. Okay, but other disadvantage, right? The disadvantage with the direct query is, okay, and right. So you cannot the data modeling capabilities, right? You cannot make you cannot deactivate or activate the relationship. You cannot create there are some limitation with respect to the data modeling related point of view. And also DAX, right? What is data DAX stands for data analytics expression. DAX stands for data analytics expression, right? So this is kind of a formulas, okay, or built-in functions using which you can transform the data, right? You can create your own formula, right? Any business specific formulas, right? You can implement it. You can transform the data. As I told you, the date column last week, for example, in the first row it is in month. Let's say you have something like date, month, year format, okay, and the next row you have something like 12/31/2021. So here you are following the US date format, and here you are following Indian date format. In some in the date column, order date column, it has a mix of different formats. It's a simple example. If you want to convert it into US format, date format, month, date, year, we can use DAX, right? We can use DAX. Okay, so using DAX we can. So likewise, right? If you want to implement any transformation, complex transformation, with the help of these functions, we can transform the data. But when you use direct query, you cannot use all the DAX related functions. For example, in the case of time intelligence, right? You cannot time intelligence functions. There are certain time intelligence functions you cannot use it here. There are some limitations with respect to direct query, right? And also you cannot create calculated you cannot create calculated tables against the direct query data sources. Okay, and we have something called quick insights, right? Even the quick insights also not support for direct query thing. Okay, you have something called quick insights. How many of you are aware of quick insights? Using quick insights also you can do data analysis, right? Even that is also not supported with direct query. Okay, but now we imported the SQL server, Microsoft SQL server, or even MySQL server. You name any RDBMS database. When you use the direct query to import the data or load the metadata, this is called metadata. Okay, this is not the actual data. Only the metadata gets loaded when you import the data in the form of in the mode of direct mode. In the interest of freshers and those of you new one, what is metadata? It is nothing but data about data. Only that metadata will get loaded when you use the direct mode. In the direct mode, the metadata, it is not going to load the entire the data in the Power BI memory. Okay, only the metadata will get. What do you mean by data about data? Data about data. For example, if I tell you 101, 2 and say this 02 23 2021, and if I say something like Rajesh, and again I am going to say 02 25 2021. If I ask someone what this value is all about and what this value is all, so we have two date. You can say this is a date column, date value. This is also date. But if I ask you what this date is all about and what this date is all about, can you tell me? Now, is this is this a date of birth? No, it cannot be date of birth, right? So, a customer, those born just now, they cannot make any order, right? So here we have 25/2 and 23/2, right? So what is this? How do you find out? Right? Join date of joining and date of resigning. Okay, Jamal, good joke. Okay, so as soon as he joined, right, within probably 5 days he resigned, 2 days he resigned the job. Okay, so you can say date of joining, date of resignation. Okay, what about this one? Can you tell me, what is this one? And also I say, 8 15.25. If I say these values, how will you find out? So for this we give the column name, right? Customer number. This is the data about this data, right? So the whatever the context we added to this raw data, we call that as a metadata. We are giving some context to the data. Exactly, check in and check out, Morgan, right? So this is something like, order date, something like, this is the customer name. If somebody asks you what this one is all about, how will you know, right? So only when you specify the column name, they will give the ship date. And this is the quantity, and this is the price. If I specify like this, you should be able to understand. Again, price, I have two columns. So how will you know? No, you might be wondering when you see the price single product. If I specify two different prices, you might be wondering. So what that one is all about. So one is a cost price, other one is a selling price. Okay, so these are called metadata, because this gives context to this data. So this is called data about this data. So this data, the customer number is also a data, but this one gives a context to this raw data. Since we call this a metadata. Only this metadata gets loaded here. The data are not getting loaded here. When in the case of direct mode, remember this. In the case of import. In the case of import, loads the data in memory. It loads the data in memory. Fine, but though if anything is available in memory, it will be much faster. The simple analogy is, right, if you remember your friend's number, right, your friend, your father is asking, hey, Mushtaq number, right? You can, since you know Mushtaq number, you can tell instantly, yeah, this is what his number. If you don't know his number, what you will do? If you don't remember, right, you will have to go and read it from your diary, or mobile phone. It will take time. Anything in memory, it will be much faster. This is maybe may not be a good example, but still, right? So anything in memory, it will be faster. That's the reason why Spark and other applications became very popular, because of the in-memory capability. Fine. So now you understood what is the difference between import and direct mode. Fine. So now you understood. So now what we will do is, I'm going to delete from the model. We'll try the Dataverse now. How many of you are aware of Power Apps? Fine. So next I'm going to use, any of this visualization, let it be we did not use any data. So I'm going to use something called Database. So it asks you about the domain URL, okay, or domain name or URL. So first of all, what is Database? Database, as I told you, right, it's a Microsoft product. It is also called as a common data service. It is a cloud-based storage space. Okay, that companies can use this one, like SharePoint. How many of you are aware of SharePoint? SharePoint, right? So okay, good. Power Apps, right? Okay, good. So SharePoint. What is the purpose of SharePoint? They use it. The companies, they use it for their intranet. What do you mean by intranet? How many of you are aware of the intranet? Intranet is an opposite to internet. Internet is public. If anything is on the internet, anybody can go and view the data. But intranet is only for the employees. For example, if you want to apply the leave, the companies have intranet, so you can go and apply the leave. It's kind of on-premise kind of thing. Okay, you can apply the leave, or any salary related payroll, anything, right? You can go and check it here. And if you have any insurance, Okay, if you have if you have insurance, medical insurance, anything, right, you can go and specify the nominee, everything. Intranet is for the internal employees, something like the internal purpose. And also the intranet, if you look at the software companies like Cognizant, Wipro, they have something called KNet. Okay, KNet, right? KNet, if you are an employee, you will have access to the KNet. So there are a lot of technology, and you take any document, right, it will be there. Okay, and it will be very helpful for, it's a knowledge knowledge portal. Okay, KNet. So in intranet, they use for the intranet, you can have access to the knowledge portal, so on. So for that purpose also they use SharePoint. And also you can also write have, so Microsoft Dynamics, right, 365. So that's where you have access to the this one, office related products. Supposing you don't have money to buy a licensed office software, what you do is, right, you can go ahead and pay on the go or something like that. Okay, you can go there on a monthly basis. They charge 360 rupees to access the licensed PowerPoint or something like that. Okay, you can go and use it there, the Dynamics 365. Okay, so now the database we will see. In the case of database, how do we connect it? We will go and connect to the Power Apps. And you guys can also try it out side by side. powerapps.microsoft.com. Go here and create an user ID. Yeah, importantly, I want to tell you one thing here. Guys, when you go to app.powerbi.com and to create to register your name, it will ask your office email ID. You cannot use Gmail or other the public email IDs. It will ask you the office email ID. Otherwise, you cannot sign up. You can use your college, or since you are a college staff, or if you work with any company, right, you can use your office email ID to register. I guess most of you are office employees, and a few of you are students. You don't worry, I will tell you how to create an office ID. Okay, right? Yeah, fine. So right, for this you need it. And Power Apps, you just go to Power Apps. Here you can sign in. Since I already have the Microsoft account, right, I just connect it here. You can find on the left side the database is available. You just expand this one, you will find tables here. So these tables are already available on the cloud. Okay, anyhow, I'm not going to talk about how to create our tables and all. Okay, we will discuss this probably later point in time. Okay, so you can see these are the tables that are already available on the Power Apps under database. Okay, and if you select account, you can find the relationship about this table. If you want to view this table in different view, if you want to see the columns of the table or relationship, right, by selecting this one, you can say you can take a look at that one. And for example, here if I select, right, address, attachment, contact, for example, I just wanted to view business unit. This is one of the tables already created by someone else, right? We don't have to worry about. See, if you click data here, you can view the data that are there in this table. I think only one is there, right? It is not much helpful. And let us do one thing. We'll go here and view some other thing like user. These are the data are available. Supposing you have the sales order and other data that are available on cloud, right? You can create the table, or you can create a database also here, right? So you can have your own set of tables here. It will be secured, highly secured, right? This data can be accessed by anyone across the globe, especially those have the relevant privileges. They can access across the globe. So now, what is the big deal? Okay, so this is the one. Now you just go to the settings, okay, and then go to advanced settings. All we did was just with the help of our credentials, we logged into make.powerapps.com, and we have something called database. When you expanded this, we could see tables here. Whichever tables that you needed, you select it, right? Or you just view it, and then probably, right, you need to take the root, not the entire URL, take the root URL and then just go to the notepad and post. It's always good practice, you post it here. Okay, one more time. What I'm going to do is I'm going to remove the trailing and leading forward slashes. Okay, this is what my domain name for Dataverse. I'm going to say here also you have here you have only the import option is available. Direct query is not enabled here. Look here, it connected to that, right? So we have seen some tables. Instead of viewing it there, we can view it here. So what tables are there? Whichever tables that are required for you, you can select it. It will it connects to the cloud, and it takes the data from there. So only 2 records are there, right? And it has so many columns are there. Better let me take some other thing. And why don't you suggest something, madam? You worked on Power Apps, right? Which table has less number of column and more number of data in it? Any idea? You're into HR, right? HR, you must be doing HR analytics there. Okay, activity pointer. So what I'm going to do is here also many columns are there. Okay, I can see. This takes a lot of time. That means it has more number of columns. Or application user. Let me select application user. How many users, application users are accessing my database, thing. Data source error. Okay, application user profile. See, this is just like this session will help you how to connect to database. That's all. Okay, but creating the table, you can create your own table also. That is probably we will see it later. Okay, that will take time. Here this is the data that is available. Application user profile, you need to select this one, you need to check off this one, only then the load or transform will get enabled. Okay, now I'm going to load it. Let us see if this one gets loaded. If that data gets loaded, you can see the column names in this fields pane. See, application, it's being loaded now currently. See, going forward, right, minimum 1.5 hour session will be there. So I am not going to cover what is what. Okay, we need to take a deep dive. Even if the schedule gets delayed little, late, right? Let it be there. But end of the day, you should, learn more. Yeah, Lavanya, we will discuss it later offline. Okay, fine, Lavanya. Yeah, we'll discuss this later. Application user profile. Okay, this is the application user profile. These are the this is the table and this is another table. These are the columns that are there in this table, right? All the data got imported successfully. Supposing you have created your own table on the database, now you understood how to connect to database and load the data here, right? Load the data here. So now how to load this? This is how you need to go. I'll just repeat here. You go here, create a login credentials on the Power Apps, right? And then just below database, you have something called tables. Okay, and you just view whichever tables you want, or else what you do is directly you go here, settings, and then go to the session details. When you click session details also, you will get this one. Okay, for example, you have the instance URL, right? This one you can copy it, or you can go to advanced settings. It will take you to the next page and you can go copy paste it. And apart from this, we have another option here, common data sources. If you go get data, and if you have something like common data sources here, sorry, right? So you can select this one, common data sources, right? This is another way of connecting it, but end of the day it's all available on your database. It is all available on cloud, okay, the Microsoft cloud, it is all available. So now you understood how to import the data from these sources. And the OData, we will see it later, and I don't remember the OData, the API. Just 1 second, we'll show you. And JSON file, right? JSON file, how to import it. And Parquet is the big data related format, file format, and all these things we will see it later. Okay, so now you understood. I don't have access to SharePoint now because my my trial version got expired. Okay, it is asking for it is asking me to use the pay as you go option. Probably I will try other option and we will show it to you later. At this moment, if you know this much, this is enough to connect to various sources. We will discuss that later. At the end of the day, you should be very good with the data transformation and the visual, right? Data visuals, everything. Okay. For example, I am going to use another data file, and I am going to use the adventure sales. Okay. What we will do is, for example, I don't know how many of you, since you people already installed, how many of you gave it a try? This one, I told you how to, transform this data into common format. This is applicable for all. Okay, this is not advanced one. Just now, I am showing you everything. 1 second. Here, we have something like sales W045. This is the file I am importing it. Listen very carefully. Right, so this is the file. Okay, I showed in the last session. I just imported it. All of you please concentrate here. Okay, look here, this file got imported here, right? So I have imported an Excel file, right? Excel file. I just show you here. Look here. You need to select this one, all files, and all these files already available in my GitHub, right? I'm yet to share it to few of you. I'll share the GitHub location also. You can use it. So here, what I did, I have used something called sales W04.csv. Okay, anyhow, here we will be using DAX function. Okay, how to do the transformation, but still let us try to understand, is there any other way we can do a bare minimal transformation. So this is my reporting view, and this is my data view, and this is model view. Model view, at this moment let us ignore. This is where we plot the charts, everything, and here to view the data. See, look here, if you go here and just seeing the column name for this table, right, that is not sufficient. We need to see the data here. So that is the reason why we select here. We can see the data. If you want to see the data from this table, you just select it here. Now we are interested in sales W04. Okay. So to make it fast, look here. We have the order date column, right? So here, as I told you, you have the date, month, the month date is there. Month date is fine, but the next line we see date, here also month date, right? Month date, yeah, month date is there. Okay, everything is fine. And but here you have the forward slash. And here you have the the delimiters or forward slash. What do you mean by delimiters? The delimiters helps to understand, right, where it ends. So the 1 and 2 ends here. So that means this is the month and this is the date. But the format here you can see somewhere hyphen, somewhere this one. Okay, so how do I address this one? For example, for that purpose, to make a transformation, slash, yeah, US, right? So okay, so now you come here and just go to transform thing here. Yeah, US India format, correct. Yeah, you just go to yet we are in the transformation. What do you mean by transform? I just selected transform. See, we viewed the data here. Look here, by selecting this you can view the data, and if you want to make some transformation, because this data is not clean, it is a dirty data, what I am going to do is I am going to select transform data. Now we are in the data window. From here you can go to transform data. Even the home ribbon also you can go there. Fine, it is there. Okay, so now what we will do is, if I use something like, if I right click on this one, let's say if you select each column, if you right click on this, you have something called transform, but if any text value is there, you can convert it to uppercase, lowercase, and trim everything, we can do it. But here we don't have, it's not a text. Order date is a text data, but it is, but there is no point in making upper or lowercase in this case. But the issue is we need to make everything in a common format, consistent format. Either you use hyphen or you use backslash. Don't use the mix of both. It will get confused. If I try to convert the data type from text to date, it will it will replace current. Yeah. So always it is not a good idea to do the transformation here itself. Okay. Look here, I am getting an error. So why am I getting error? It is not in a proper consistent format. Right? It is not consistent. The format is not consistent. So now can I do Control Z? Control Z will not work in your query editor, Power Query Editor. So which is nothing but the transform. Okay, we clicked this one, right? Transform data, right? When you click the transform data, there is nothing but your Power Query Editor. In the Power Query Editor, we clean the data. We are supposed to clean the data. If the data is not in the proper format, we need to clean it. Okay. So here I am getting error. So what I do is, on the right side of this one, whatever the changes I made to the data, it's all recorded in the applied steps. What all the steps that I carried out, that are recorded here. Okay. Changed type. What did I do? I changed the data type from text to, look here, this is a column name. On the left side of the column you will find 1, 2, 3. That means it's a number data type, whole number. If you see ABC along with the column name, that means this is text data. Earlier it was text data, right? When I converted this a date data type, it is filled with some error. That means the format was not correct, right? So if I want to revert back to the original form, right, I am going to remove this, and when you click the change type, it will go away. So we are into the previous format. What we do is, to transform this, simple idea, you just go to add column, custom column, create a new column, create a blank new column. I just clicked custom column. It will take some time. Okay, you got something like this. Okay, for example, I am going to say, or you can use the custom day, date, something like that. Okay, or you can duplicate the column. Okay, you can duplicate the column, or in this case I am creating a new column. Okay, why to duplicate? I am going to create a new column. Here itself we can write the formula. Okay, I am not going to start that formula part now. Okay, how to split everything. 1 second. Okay, here I did not specify this one. I need to select this one. See, I have given, see, I want to create a new column. Okay, that column should have the order date values. Okay, I'm going to have the duplicate of this one. Okay, I'm going to see, you can the n number of you have various alternative ways to do this. So this one approach, we try it now. Okay, for example, I am going to right click. When you place the cursor in the middle of the column name, this is the newly created column. This column we copied, the order date. Okay, so now what I do is I go back here. Your order date is the right click, and then you go to move to end, because I want to compare both, because I'm going to make changes to this column. When I make changes to this column, though it is same as this one, but I'm going to make a changes to this column. When I make changes to the column, whether the changes have been made as expected, to compare that, I just moved the order date column towards the end. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this one, right click, and replace values. Sorry, I click some replace errors, not replace errors. Sometimes we use replace errors also. Values to find. For example, wherever I want to convert all the backslash to hyphen. If I give this, it got converted. But what happens here is here the date is properly, though it is a single digit, 02, right? If it is a single digit, it has to prefix that by 0, but whereas it is not there here. So what can I do? So what we will do is we will split this column further, like date separately, month separately, year separately. How can I do that? Split column. Using replace, I replaced all the forward slash by hyphen. Now the next step, what I'm going to split this column. How do I? Delimiter. What do you mean by delimiter? Delimiter is in this case hyphen. If you don't have delimiter hyphen, how will you know which one is month, which one is date, right? It's all messy. 731212. Difficult to understand, right? So for that purpose, and also to split the date, month, year, the delimiters are used. Now you understood what is delimiter. Delimiter can be hyphen, semicolon, or forward slash or backward slash. Why they use delimiter? To make the data more legible form. Okay, to understand. By looking at this, we can say, hey, this is month, this is date. This cannot be date, because in the middle we have 31. Month cannot be more than 12. That means this is the date, this is the month. Month, date, year format. Yeah, to differentiate, right? And also to split the values, month, year, date, right? We can do it. So now look here, I just replaced all the forward. In the Excel, whatever we do, the same thing. Lavanya, it's very simple. If you have worked on Excel, it's very simple to understand this step. And okay, here what I'm going to do is I just split column by delimiter. We have various options are available. Look here in the split column, number of characters by positions. I guess those of you did programming, right? You must be knowing it in the ETL part. Those of you worked, right? You know this one. Fixed delimiter, fixed space delimiter, nothing but position, number of characters. You can specify the character also. By delimiter, I'm going to use delimiter. Use the delimiter to split the date in a separate column, month in a separate column. For example, here custom, right? And what I'm going to do is here, yeah. So here hyphen is the rightmost delimiter. I'm going to use rightmost delimiter. Look here, what happens. So hyphen is the delimiter. Okay, what? Okay, 1 second. Let me just remove this column. It is confusing. 731, and the year got separated, right? So 731, this is the original column. We created a new column with the same value. When you use the right delimiter, right? What happened? The right side of the hyphen, right? After the hyphen, whatever was there, it got moved to another table. Watch carefully. I repeat the same with this one. Now split. If I do say split by delimiter, I'm going to say by delimiter. By delimiter. So what is the delimiter here, Lavanya? Hyphen, right? Hyphen. Look here, custom is hyphen. This is use this delimiter, and whatever the delimiter is there here. After this, whatever the value is there, you put it in a separate column. Simply, I am going to look here. Rightmost delimiter. On the right side of the delimiter, what value is there? 31. You put it in a separate column. Look here. So 7/31/2012, right? So the dates were separated from this date, order date. Date is available separately, 31/5/17/28, 5/28, correctly it's separated it. And then the case of date, year, right? This column has only year part, this column has date part, and this column has month part. Got it? So up to this I arrive. Okay, I will share this P by X file also. You keep that with you. When I start DAX, you can use DAX, and then with that, right, you try to do this one. Okay, try to address this issue. This is one step. Okay, one approach. You can use different approaches. Right, this is one approach I explained. But here, what we are supposed to do is we need to prefix all the single digit by 0. Here 7 is a single digit, you need to prefix with 0. 2 is a single digit, prefix with 0. Since it is already 2 digit, you don't do anything. How will you do that? Can you use calculated column? You have something called, conditional column. Can you use conditional column? You have something called conditional column. Okay, here you can specify, you can create a new column. In that column, you can specify, for example, the custom date 1.1. This is the one, right? Custom date 1.1 equals. So what logic you will be using it? Can someone tell me? Let me see how many of you can think of it. But again, we cannot, we have to use something called pad. Okay, we need to pad 0 to all the single digit. How will you find out with single digit or 2 digit? That we will discuss it later. Yeah. Less than 12, right? Less than 12. Anything? No, less than. What do you mean by less than 12, Mohan? Even date can also be less than 12, right? For example, here date is 5. It is also less than 12. Len, you can use len. Oh, okay. Len, you can use len function. Fine. So you can less than 12 for month separation. Len function, Jamal. Okay. You can use len function if the len is, but len is available here, right? It is not available here. But what you do is you can prefix each value with, we have something called pad, okay, using which we can do it. That we will see it as part of DAX. You need to write little bit coding. Here I don't want to overwhelm with everyone because I have a mix of people here, right? So you just keep that in mind. And yeah, you can do conditional formatting, right? You can do conditional format, but conditional formatting is not as easy as how we think, right? We need to use something called padding or something that we have something called pad function is available, using which we need to do it. So you just give it a try. Anyhow, I recorded this video. I will share this recorded video also. You can watch this video and then give it a try. And those of you are beginners, new one, right? Maybe I'm talking little bit advanced side, but understand this is a very basic thing, okay? Because whatever so far I've done is basic thing. Don't think it's advanced one. But the solution, whatever I was talking so far, that is the advanced one. Okay, prefixing the values by 0 is the advanced one. And then you need to prefix the value by 0. And what is the next step? Month, this is a month, and date and year, right? You need to combine all the things. Right? How will you combine all the? You have something called merge columns. Okay, you have something called merge columns, using which you can merge all the columns. But using DAX function, we can write it in one single thing. Okay, we don't have to merge all the things. Okay, so we can do it that way. See here, I just changed I splitted this one. Here month month got separated. Date got separated from this one, and year got separated. Whatever I made, right, it recorded what changes I made it, right? It's something like whatever our kids they do it, our elder kid may make some mistake and the younger kid will note down, oh, he did this, right? The same way, whatever changes we made, it recorded here. So change type 1 and split column by delimiter, right? And removed columns. We removed which column? The return column I removed it, and then change the data type, right? So split column by delimiter 1 and change type 1. Fine. If you want to see the data type, you can see it here, integer type, something like that. Okay. So what is this one? We just did point and click. We just did the point and click, and whatever the changes that we want, transformation we want to do, we did it just by select split, and we did all these kind of things, right? Yeah, DD. How to separate date and month? There is mix of and DD. So we have the delimiter, right, Mohan? Yeah, we have something called format function is also available. Okay, in in this one, right? So there is a mix of and DD. Okay, you are asking about different scenario. Here we don't see any. Did we see anything? Month, date, everything? No, right? It's not a mix of both. Usually, what we do is when we get some messy data like this, we will ask the customer to give the proper data in the proper format. We'll tell them, we go back and tell them, boss, this will not work out. You give me good data, it is a mix of things. When customers, what they say, no, we don't have people to do everything, you have to do everything, right? In that case, we have to go extra mile, and we need to do this one. Okay. So those of you already started, right? You can start, come up with the solution for this. Anyhow, I have the solution for this already. We'll discuss the solution later. Okay. And this is the basic thing. Okay. So how to check the data type, everything, right? How to check the data type, and how to change the data type, how to replace the existing value with the new value. For example, I'm going to just check here. Look here. I'm just scrolling. It's Excel only. It is more or less like, if you want to go to the extreme right, just scroll on the right side, scroll on the left side, and if you see here, NA is there, missing values are there. When you select this one, you can see remove empty. Wherever the empty record, you can remove it. Okay, and then you have something called text filters. Okay, you can filter the data based on some condition. Okay. And all the values, look here, you have something like blank, you can exclude this one and click OK. The blank value will go away. Okay, the blank value will go away. This is how you can filter the data. I don't want the blank records, I want all this field, right? Non-blank values only I need it, right? I don't want the blank or empty values. Excluding the empty values, the rest of the values only I need it. So in that case, you uncheck it and click OK. Okay, you click OK. So this is how we filter the data. Column wise we filter the data, and then we already discussed about view. When you go to view button, and also you have something called advanced editor. When you go to advanced editor, this is where whatever the changes got recorded here, right? So it is all written in the form of M language. This is called M language. This is written on our behalf by the Power BI tool. You don't have to write any M language. All you need, just right click, split the column, change the data type, delete the column. You do only that one. Behind the scene, I will write the M language code for you. So it starts with let and N. We will discuss this later. Okay, whatever changes you made so far, it all behind the scene, it is generate the code in the form of M language. Okay, fine. The next one is so here always allow, and so monospaced is nothing. It is just font, right? Here the font size will get changed to view the data in equals, something like that. You don't have to worry about this. And this is already discussed, right? Query settings. What do you mean by query setting? Suppose you mistakenly close this one. Don't worry. You just come here, query setting. When you click this one will appear again. Okay, this one will appear. And column quality, as I discussed earlier, it will show you how many number of empty records are there. You have some empty records are there. You're not supposed to have empty records. And error is, we don't have any error. You remember when I converted the text into data, it was filled a few records in error, right? So in that case, it will show you in this column how much percentage of error is there, how much percentage of empty values are there, how much valid data is there. It shows you only this much of information. Okay. column profile. So this is the one, and then column distribution. The column distribution will help you to understand how the data got distributed. Is this normally distributed? This is right skewed data. This is also right skewed data, and it is uniform distribution. This is called uniform distribution, and this is we don't see anything here. The type of the distribution, you can see the distribution pattern of the column, you can see it. Any of the right skewed data, left skewed data, normal distribution is part of statistics, okay, but they are giving everything here, and also it gives you how many distinct values are in this column. Anyhow, in the case of number data type, it is not much helpful. In the case of product, how many, you look here on the especially when you go to the data pane. This is, we are into transformation pane. One second, I will just go to the data pane. When you go to the data pane, you can see at the bottom 25,000 records are there in this one, right? So when I click the transform data, it takes me here. This is where we do all kind of data cleaning, everything. We do data cleaning, everything. So here we can see the column profile, everything. If you can select column profile, before you start do anything, you need to check the column profile, get a complete understanding about data value distribution, okay. Supposing you have the category, look here, this is the category distribution. So the technology data is more compared to office supplies and then furniture. And furniture, the number of records in this data set is more than office supplies. In total, office supply, the number of records for the office supplies are less compared to these two category. Likewise, you can infer the distribution, and also it gives you how many number of empty strings are there, how many distinct values are there in this category. Look here, since we have the empty string, in total we have only 3, the distinct supposed to be 3, it includes the blank value also, hence it is 4. Right, so these are all the thing. But anyhow, tomorrow we will look at the visuals part, okay. We will start work on how to create hierarchy, and how to slowly we will work on the visualization part also, okay. We'll go step by step. We'll start with very basic thing, but we will have to speed it up, right? Next 2 to 3 class we will go in a slow pace in the interest of mix of people in this batch. And then I request those of you are quite new into this the part, right, programming part, right. So you have to work hard, that's all, right. You need to watch video, you have to spend time in watching my video and start practicing it. I will share some other videos also, right. You can watch that also, start practicing it, because within 1 hour, right, we cannot spend too much of time in troubleshooting each and every person's issues. But again, once you get into the software company, no one will come for your help, everyone will be busy. Try to be independent, try to solve the problem on your own, okay. Anyhow, from my side, whatever the best I can do in terms of covering everything, right, we'll cover it. And tomorrow we will see the other topics, okay. The data transformation, we'll start look at it, right, more on the data transformation slowly. And also we'll start with the visualization also, okay. What kind of visualization, what kind of formatting we can do it, that part we'll get in tomorrow, right. Any questions?
I have a question.
Yeah, tell me.
This what we are using is for the end user, right? Which is for the desktop version. So what will be for the IT guys? Like, what role will be for them for the IT?
I think you will see it. Okay, don't worry. And also how to publish everything on that one, and what is workspace, what is my workspace, and also we will see how to pin the report. Everything we'll see, right? And bookmark. Many things are there. We can go through on my course content, okay. So everything, as per this we'll cover everything, all right. But anyhow, I will not go in that sequence. Sometimes I may go here and there, since if I feel better sequencing, right, probably I will have to add anything in between while explaining it, okay. Don't go literally by my course content also, okay. But we will go in the proper sequence. Fine. Anyhow, request to all to join, on time tomorrow, like how you joined today. We will go step by step. Okay. Next, 2 to 3 days, we will go in a slow pace, and then we'll have to increase the speed because it's very easy to learn. Believe me or not, even a 12th standard CBSE student, was able to understand everything. Okay. In the past, if you guys attended with me, they did all the things, whatever assignment I gave it to them, they did. So I'll give you assignment also. Probably tomorrow I'll give you assignment. Start work on the assignments also side by side. In the SQL query also, right, I will give it sometime tomorrow. I'll send the link. Okay, the links and all, everything ready. We'll share the link. Start work on the assignment side by side so that you will. And I would suggest you to focus on this training. Okay.